What kind of a mount are you looking for? A backyard pet your children can grow up with? Or a reliable trail animal to help you enjoy the high country? Do you love a reining spin or the intricate moves of the dressage arena? Do you long to be flying high on a jump course? Or does driving a Surrey with the fringe on top sound like your cup of tea? Whatever kind of equine companion you're looking for, you'll want one that will perform in a safe, obedient manner. The purpose of these programs is to help you understand mules and donkeys and learn how to handle and train them correctly. Now, we know that not everyone watching owns a mule. Some of you own horses. Well, there's something here for you too. You'll notice that these are simple, easy-to-follow lessons. They're designed to teach you a variety of correct training methods for horses as well as for mules and donkeys. The result? Whether his ears are long or short, you'll have a well-mannered, well-trained animal. This program features segments from an award-winning video series created for the equine industry by acclaimed trainer and educator Meredith Hodges. Because of this, you'll hear occasional references to the videos and also to the workbooks and field cards that are included with the video series. The field cards that come with the videos are a great training tool that can be taken right into the arena. We'll be sure to give you information on the complete training series later in the program. Now let's learn a little about Meredith Hodges and why so many people rely on her as their training consultant.
Mule people! You know what I've always wanted to teach my mule how to do is to shovel snow. Well, looky here. This is a perfect opportunity.
If you know anything about Meredith, you know that she knows how to get what you need out of a mule. Meredith's mules can compete with the horses. She goes to all the big shows. She does dressage, cross-country, pleasure, driving. She does it all with her mules. So obviously, she knows what she's doing. And if you know anything about mules, you know they're not long-eared horses. It takes a different approach to a mule to get what you need out of him.
You reckon I can get Meredith to make a tape on how to teach your mule to shovel snow? I sure gonna try. Wish me luck.
Mules are wonderful animals. They're strong, intelligent, affectionate, with a great sense of humor, and what incredible athletes. But training a mule is different than training a horse. When you're training a mule, you have to take into consideration the donkey half as well as the horse half.
Today, we will be teaching your foal a little showmanship. These exercises can also help you to develop a good relationship with an older animal, and they are the foundation for effective athletic conditioning. Keeping things simple allows you the time to perfect your reward training techniques and allow your equine the time to begin developing good muscle tone. So be willing to take your time with these lessons.
Each week our program covers a different phase of management and training. No matter what kind of equine companion you're interested in, you'll find techniques that will help you reach your training goals and bond with your animal in the process. Just remember, the keys to success are patience, kindness, and understanding.
Today, we're going to teach your mule foal a little showmanship. If you decide to attend a halter class at the county fair, great. But even if you never get out of your backyard, these lessons are the basis for training later on. For showmanship, your mule needs to learn these 3 things. Number 1, how to follow your shoulder at a walk and a trot. Number 2, how to stand squarely, quietly. And number 3, how to turn on his haunches. To accomplish this, always walk and trot with him on the lead as if you were in a showmanship class. The walk from the pasture to the barn is a good place to start. Use a fence and a whip to encourage trotting if he gets stubborn. And always have him square up and stand quietly when haltered in hand. Here's how to thread your lead shank for maximum efficiency and comfort. Always hold your lead in your left hand and use your right hand to control his position. If he rushes forward, Drop your right arm down over the lead until he backs off. If he gets too close to you, use your right arm to push him aside. Carrying a treat bag and rewarding his effort will help keep his attention on the task at hand. When teaching the turn on the haunches, ask for one step forward before executing the turn. Lead forward with your left hand as you use your right hand with a push-release on his shoulder to help him understand what you are asking. Keep enough slack in your lead to allow him to execute the movement without leaning on you. When asking him to set up and stand squarely, use very slight pulls down and back to set up his back feet first. Then use slight pulls forward to set the front feet. You can use your right hand to make adjustments on his body if necessary. Showmanship is more than just a show class. It is a way to begin to develop good posture and balance in your foal's body. These passive exercises begin to develop muscle at the deepest level and will lay the balance foundation for further muscle conditioning throughout his athletic development. Wasn't that fun? Now we'll teach showmanship to your older mule. We'll be right back.
Colorful Colorado, with its majestic Rocky Mountains and wide open spaces, also boasts the Loveland Long Years Museum and Sculpture Park at the Lucky 3 Ranch, home of some of the finest mules and donkeys in the world. This working ranch is just 40 miles north of Denver. World-renowned authority on mules and donkeys, Meredith Hodges, invites you and your family for an adventure in learning you won't want to miss. Come visit the Lucky 3 Ranch, meet Meredith, her champion mules and donkeys, and take in the beauty of her long years art for the experience of a lifetime.
Hi, I'm Meredith Hodges, and welcome to the Lucky 3 Ranch Training Tips. Along with respect, patience, kindness, and understanding, a reward system is at the core of every successful training program. Just like all of us, equines like to be rewarded for positive behaviors and a job well done. A war of wills with an equine is never a good idea. It gets you nowhere and causes frustration, bad behaviors, and even hostility in your animal. However, using a food-based reward system, but only for positive behaviors, gets amazing results. So before you set out to do anything with your equine, make sure you have a full supply of crimped oats to use as a reward for positive behaviors. Traditional treats like carrots and apples contain an unnecessarily high amount of sugar, which your equine does not need, and they can get tired of these foods rather quickly. It is far healthier to use the same crimped oats that they are being regularly fed. During lessons, the oats reward gives them the extra energy they need when they need it, and it's something they will continue to work for. As far as taste, let's see which treat this boy prefers. Looks like it's crimped oats all the way.
Here's an engineer. How did you know that? So we go see a huge mule. Because this head, you're fine. Stroke with the hair, that's all you gotta do. Okay, come on, boys, let's go. Come on.
Every owner knows that a well-taken care of equine is a happy equine. More and more, a technique being used to enhance our animals' overall conditioning is equine massage.
What you have to realize is you're training an animal in their muscle tissue, and their muscle tissue has to be able to perform the task that you're asking the animal to perform. If you're having a hard time doing the advanced things, you need to go back to the beginning. The massage helps break the pattern of the neurons that fire to that muscle, that tell it to contract, to contract, to contract.
With proper instruction, just about anyone can learn to give their equine the benefit of basic massage.
I've been working on equines for a long time, and a lot of people look at you and hope that you can just come out and make an animal better. And you can't do that. It takes two pieces, the massage as well as the exercise. And the exercise is actually more important than the massage. And that's something that people really have to understand. And Meredith's tapes do that. And a lot of people don't want to take that long a time frame. They just want to do their 60 days, get on the animal and ride them. But that's not really where you can go with their backs.
For more intensive therapeutic massage, be sure to consult a professional. Equine massage not only enhances your animal's health and overall condition, it's also a deeply personal and rewarding bonding experience for both of you.
Many of you who love your horses also love your dogs. This type of massage can be beneficial for all your pets. If you want to improve your animal's quality of life, I can help. I can either teach you how to do it, or I can massage your dogs for you. Contact me at dogmassage.com.
And welcome to the Lucky 3 Ranch Training Tips. I believe that learning and practicing good manners, that is, consideration, courtesy, and thoughtfulness, is good for everyone, including equines. Including lessons in good manners while teaching any training technique makes your job and your equines a lot easier now and far into the future. As your equine learns to come and stand quietly while being haltered, rewarded, and taken from his stall or pen, he learns to allow you to lead the way without being a bully, and you learn how to be respectful of his rest area and polite while putting on the halter. During bathing, by your quiet, organized example, your equine will learn to be cooperative, move carefully around you, and will avoid stepping on the hose, bathing supplies, and your toes. When multiple animals are being groomed in a tight space, your equine learns to move purposefully and sensibly, even stepping over cords when asked. When gait training is done correctly, he will always allow you to go through the gate first, then follow and turn calmly and obediently to obtain his reward. Through practice, he will eventually learn to be attentive, patient, and wait for your signal before moving. And all movements will become purposeful with mutual consideration. Lessons in good manners at every stage of interaction with your equine can significantly lower the risk of your animal becoming distracted, which is crucial for safety when working with any equine. Good manners is a two-way street that will greatly enhance your time together.
Artwork inspired by mules and donkeys is quickly gaining popularity. Tennessee mule artist Bonnie Shields has the uncanny ability to capture the fun-loving nature of these free-spirited animals.
They were like a horse, but they weren't like a horse.
They had a little different body. They used their body a different way. They certainly had a different mental attitude. So they started intriguing me as an artist, and I kept finding the differences between them and the horse, both physically and in their reaction to things. So that started my love affair with the mule. When you deal with the mule, you're not always in charge. So it takes a little bit of a different kind of personality to appreciate the mule and to work with her.
She was the only artist that could really capture the essence of mules and donkeys. Mules and donkeys are really good teachers and teachers of life lessons. And Bonnie has just been an inspiration to me ever since. Wow, how'd it do?
Whoa.
I know that all through the years, Meredith gives tours to the ranch. But what a wonderful addition to this whole ranch would be a sculpture park just for the mules and the donkeys. So I just thought it was an awesome idea. And then she let me be part of it. It's a wonderful thing. And when you come to visit the Lucky Three, it's just an added bonus.
Mule people, you reckon I can get Meredith to make a tape on how to teach your mule to shovel snow? I sure gonna try. Wish me luck.
Just a wonderful human being, and working with her is always humorous. She is just funny as the day is long, and so I thought that she would be absolutely perfect as the illustrator for the Jasper series that I wanted to do.
The Daydreamers was inspired by a thing that I saw years ago. I heard about this family up in Kentucky. They'd been working tobacco out in the field with their mules. And one of the boys, he was laying across this mule's back, laying in the shade. They'd been working, and he was resting on the back of his mule in the shade. That just kind of stuck with me, and I thought, gee, a kid like that, you know, he thinks he's stuck on the farm. He thinks he's stuck doing all this terrible old work, and he's laying up there and he's daydreaming about getting away from it all. So that's where Daydreamer came from. Sculpture's not the only thing I do. Matter of fact, I got into sculpture maybe a little later in my career. Mostly, I was known for my pencil drawings and my acrylic paintings for many, many years.
Long Ear's art. It may be whimsical, like a cartoon, or it may simply be breathtaking. Long Ears are taking their place in the world of art, and it's the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
In showmanship and halter classes, it goes without saying that your mule must be groomed to perfection. That means for months prior to the show, you're giving your mule a good brushing or vacuuming every day. The brushing stimulates the skin and brings out the natural hair oils that make the coat shine. No amount of shine in a can will replace the natural luster of a mule that's been brushed each day. You can apply a little baby oil before you go into the show ring, but be careful of a greasy appearance. You can band your mule's mane to make it neat for the class, and apply a black hoof dressing on the hooves. If your mule has light hooves, apply a clear polish rather than black. Your equipment and personal dress should be neat, clean, and well fitted. Make sure your attire and your tack are appropriate for the class. Most halter and showmanship classes call for a Western-style halter with a lead shank. Occasionally, you may find a suitability for dressage class or an English showmanship class. In that case, don't wear English clothing and show with a halter with silver trim. An English halter class calls for showing in a full bridle or a plain leather halter. Showmanship is an art that enables you to show your mule to the judge at the best advantage. Remember, the judge wants to see your mule's conformation, soundness, and way of going. You must learn to show your mule in a manner that will bring out his natural grace and beauty as he stands or moves. When training your mule for showmanship, use a halter with a chain lead shank. Here's how to run the chain best to control your mule. Your first goal is to teach him to walk briskly by your side with his shoulder lined up with yours. To do this, lead from the left side with the lead shank held in your left hand about 8 to 12 inches from the halter. Facing forward, extend your arm forward and say, "Walk on." Your mule should move forward quickly and freely. Your goal is for him to move along with you at a speed equal to yours, with his shoulder next to yours at a walk. It won't take him long to understand he is to match your pace. Practice walk, halt, walk, halt. Then add a walk, trot, walk, trot. A lunge whip in your left hand can reinforce your cues to trot. Before you know it, he won't even need a lead shank. He will pace you without restraint because he understands what's expected. Once your mule learns to walk by your side, he will need to pose for the judge. This means he should set up squarely, equally balanced on all 4 feet. For the rest of his training and as practice for the show ring, get in the habit of holding the excess lead shank loosely in the left hand in a figure-8 coil for safety, never loose and flapping, and never wrapped around your hand. To teach him to set up, walk into position and tell him to whoa. Make sure you stay out of the danger zone and pivot around to face his shoulders. Tell him to set. If he isn't standing squarely, show him what you want by touching his shoulder or using the lead shank to adjust his hind legs. Use small movements to avoid an overreaction. Remember, in a showmanship class, you will not be allowed to touch your mule to set his legs correctly. Kicking a mule's legs into position is absolutely prohibited. Your mule will quickly learn what set means. Your mule should learn to set whether you are on his left side or his right side. In some classes, you may be asked to back your mule from the lead shank. You can teach him to rein back on command quite easily. Turn and face his chest and pull the lead shank down and back with your left hand. If he doesn't understand, reinforce the cue by pushing intermittently on his chest with your right hand. It won't take long for him to understand what you want him to do. Just remember to always turn and face his chest, staying in the safety zone when asked to back in a class. The last trick your mule must learn is to turn on his haunches. It is proper to always turn your mule away from you to the right. This will cause him to pivot in a collected, safe manner. Hold the right arm straight, gripping the lead strap close to the halter, and begin walking to the right around the mule. This will force him to turn his head and then his body within the circle being walked by the showman. The easiest way to school for the pivot is to get next to the fence and use it as an aid. The fence will help him hold his pivot foot. If he doesn't turn immediately, try this trick. Hold the lead shank in your left hand and use your right hand to tap him on the shoulder or nudge him over. When he understands what's expected, switch the lead shank back to the correct position. Here's another trick to dress up his pivot. Hold him back slightly to force him to pivot on his hind legs. A properly made 180-degree turn will result in your mule standing squarely in his own tracks, facing the opposite direction. It may be necessary to make your mule take a step back halfway through the turn if he is not pivoting correctly on his hind feet. When the turn is completed, your mule is now facing the opposite way. You can use 360-degree turns to teach him to be even more smooth and responsive. One of the most difficult things your mule must learn is how to stand perfectly still while the judge inspects him. Only by practicing with an assistant will your mule learn to pay attention to you and ignore whatever the judge might do to inspect or distract him. Now it's time to put all this together in a pattern. There are several standard patterns used for showmanship, but they all have similar elements. At a show, the pattern will usually be posted before the class, but it doesn't hurt to practice a few patterns at home. You can usually count on there being a judge and a ring steward in the class. The ring steward will give you instructions, but you will show to the judge. In classes with more than one judge, one will be designated the primary judge, and you must ignore the others. Begin by entering the ring at a brisk walk and look to the ring steward for instructions on where to go. Most of the time in a halter class, you will walk to the judge and then trot away. But you never know what you'll come across in a showmanship class, especially at the bigger shows or county fairs. The judge may be watching how you enter the ring, so make eye contact as soon as possible. When instructed to line up, go around the line and enter from the rear in the position indicated. Line up evenly with the others and set up your mule quickly. Then watch the judge. Don't crowd the other exhibitors and give yourself plenty of room so you won't get kicked. Today's halter and showmanship classes encourage the showman to move to either side of the animal and never stand between the mule and the judge. This involves very quickly and smoothly crossing in front of the danger zone. Just remember that remaining in the danger zone is a fault. Your mule should stand squarely on all 4 feet, with you staying in the safe zone on the near side and face slightly forward if the judge is working at the front of the class. If the judge is working at the rear of the class, you may face towards the rear. Avoid blocking the judge's view by quickly moving from the near side to the off side of your animal. Many breeds and 4-H now use the quarter system of showing, so you will actually be moving from side to side in a very smooth pattern while your mule stands still. Here's a common pattern. When signaled to walk towards the judge, move out of line in a brisk, alert manner, aiming your mule at the judge. Halt a mule a length in front of the judge and set him up. If the judge inspects your mule now, change smoothly from side to side as she circles. In some breeds, the judge is allowed to ruffle the mane or slip the halter back. It is then your duty to fix whatever she has done quickly and smoothly. This is when eye contact and a smile are a big part of your performance. Upon the judge's signal to return to the line, you should execute a smart hindquarter pivot, and if directed, trot briskly through the line, executing another pivot to turn around and properly place your mule in his correct position. Another pattern might be to enter, walk towards the judge as she watches your mule's way of going. The judge will then step aside and you will trot away. Return to the line, square up, and wait for the judge to pass through the line inspecting each mule, including yours. Still another pattern is where you enter at a walk and form a line. The judge then asks everyone to move into a large circle around her, then walk and trot at her command. She would then have the exhibitors form a straight line either side by side or head to tail. Remember to leave plenty of room in your lineup for safety. Once more, stand square for her individual inspection. Most showmanship classes will use variations of these basic patterns. Remember that in a showmanship class, you are being judged on your ability to present your mule. In a halter class, your mule's conformation and way of going is most important. But even in a halter class, your pride and professional demeanor will help your mule stand out from the rest. Showmanship is practiced from the time you enter the ring until the time you leave the ring. Never assume that you are not being judged. Always keep an eye on the judge and keep your mule alert and standing squarely. Your manners and actions reflect the time and effort you have spent in preparation and training. Work calmly and quietly in the class and keep a friendly, businesslike attitude. Even after the placings are made, the spectators are still watching you and your animal, and good sportsmanship is always appreciated. As you can tell, there's no shortcuts to success in the show ring. Everything you do in the ring is related to everything you've done in days and weeks and months before. The end result is the satisfaction that you've done it right and your mule is healthy and sound and has learned good ground manners. You can congratulate yourself that what you have done is admired and respected by friends and others who see you with your mule. Be sure to join us next week when we'll go over everything your mule will have to learn before we introduce him to the saddle.
Having problems? Need an accessible trainer? Whether you're just a weekend trail rider or showing, the principles of training are the same. You want a safe and reliable equine companion. Produced by Meredith Hodges, Training Mules and Donkeys, a logical approach to long ears, will help you build a good working relationship with your animal. Meredith reveals the secrets of successful maintenance and resistance-free training that can be implemented by anyone, resulting in a satisfying partnership between you and your equine. Meredith answers your training questions promptly via mail or phone. Her books are great general resources and her videos are detailed, outlining the day-to-day exercises needed to produce a versatile and dependable equine companion. Meredith's techniques work with all equines. Do you have children? Grandchildren? Check out Jasper, the story of a mule. For more information, check out our website at www.lucky3ranch.com or call 1-800-816-7566.
Mules are working their way into the hearts of people everywhere. If you'd like to know more about these wonderful long-eared animals, you can contact us at 1-800-816-7566 or get on our website at lucky3ranch.com.
Dusty old quilt hung crooked on a couch in an old stone house by a lazy river. Songbirds singing to me like slow ride.